but I figured why not. Gonna be doing some modding, well, some reassembling. Gonna be a pretty chill stream here. I was thinking about modding the Ripapu VT9 Gen 2 and also what I'm using at my computer right now, the VT0 Gen 2. I was thinking about modding these on this stream, but not going to be this time. That will be a dedicated stream at another time. So today it's simply just some reassembly of, starting the reassembly of some of the mice that I sanded. That was in the previous live stream. So this is not going to be a long one. I don't even think I'm going to do a Discord or Twitter notification. It's late here. It's about 11 o'clock. So I don't really like staying up past midnight usually. So it will be quite chill. But what I wanted to start out with, actually the whole reason why I was like, oh, I should live stream this, is because I'm really curious what I sanded the L7 Ultra down to. Now I'm going to have to go through my, remember my sack? My sack of goodies of mouse. Well, now my sack of goodies is a sack of mouse PCBs. Well, the lower parts of mice at least. Oh my gosh, but like I said, there's like 40 of them here, so it's kind of hard for me to... Oh my gosh, it's just absolutely nuts how many are here, guys. I should count them. Also, there weren't too many mice that I really missed because I like bringing a mouse or two to work every day. Plus the occasional gaming, like I did some Crab Champions today. But like half my collection is taken apart. Did I miss any of them? Not really, with the slight exception of the VGN F2. That's such a good mouse. Such a good mouse. Reassemble that one tonight. Actually just setting out. Maybe I will do a quick Discord ping. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a lower energy stream this time around. Just because it's late. Oh yeah, there's that L7 baby. Nice and thin. Oh yeah. So I'm going to do a quick Discord mention. Say that I am live. Live streams. And I'll grab the quick link here from my own account. Usually I try to have this stuff kind of more set up beforehand, but like I said, I'm going pretty chill today. All right. So the M chose L7, huh? Turn on my fan here, which sometimes doesn't work, but I guess it worked now. That's good. It's the M Chiz L7. What's the stock weight? Like 40, or with the big ass battery, I want to say it's like 46 grams. In fact, I don't even know if I have this one. I hope I have it documented in my spreadsheet. I'm pretty sure I took pictures of this one. 9 point. This sounds familiar. Is that on camera? More or less. It's all good. We got a couple people in chat though. We already here. I wish Fantech refreshed the XD5. Love that mouse. Yeah, I know. A slightly larger version is the Ninjutsu Origin 1X. People don't really know about that mouse. I didn't realize the Origin 1X is 3335 sensor, like the SteelSeries Aerox 3 was. What was I doing? Taking a picture. But first seeing if I have that picture. Like, dude, look at all these. This is coming through on stream. These are all pictures of the before and after weights that I took. So, for example, here's a Wise Owl Cloud. 23.54 before. 22.33 after. So each of them was only like a 1 or 2 gram reduction. Here's the VGNF2. I'm such a boomer, I know. 17.13 before, 15.63 after. I think 1.5 grams on that. M-chose. Yeah, I don't think so. So I'll grab a picture of this. How are you guys doing tonight, by the way? Well, for you guys, Mayank, you're Indian, right? So you're in India. What's the time difference? Like 9.5, 10 hours? It's morning for you. Alright, well the M chose. That's gonna get a new battery. And the pinout. BTR, no need to change that. Wonderful. McHose, not. Oh my gosh, dude, I laughed so hard at that. I laughed so hard. I don't know why I laughed so hard, but McHose, that really got me. Was that live that I read that and I laughed so hard? .5 grams. Today's a festival, so holiday. Oh yeah, I saw it for Diwali, like the air quality. Somebody posted a video of how bad the air quality gets with all the fireworks and everything. No LED or anything. I forget, does the MCHOS have an LED? I should plug this in and just make sure that it's actually indeed working. Okay. Yep, that seems to work. Let's try the wireless dongle. Sorry, that window sound is me. Yeah, what is Diwali? What holiday are you guys celebrating? Okay, good. Battery's working. So, one question was, why did I even bother taking these apart when I was sanding them? And that is a good question, but here's an example. This battery button, dude, I cannot get that with my fingernail once it's in the upper position. So, like, I'm gonna take that out, reassemble that. My air meter is at 65k particle count for PM1 and 500 plus for PM2.5. I don't know what that means. So wait, you actually have a... Wait, is that just a common thing that Indian folk, you guys have like crappy air quality, so you have air quality meters with you? What? Man, I love Indian food, but I don't know much about India. But I don't know if is it a good place to tour as a tourist? I don't know. I don't know if I would want to go. No, I'm just a weirdo. Okay. I mean, I'm sure like all countries are pretty beautiful when when you peel back the layers. Like, I would love to go to Mexico, but in a not in a touristy way, but in a well taken care of way, like in a way that like I don't have to worry about safety all that much, but not a touristy one where I'm locked into just a resort. I've worked with Mexican coworkers and they just talk about how absolutely beautiful the country is, and it's just a shame that it's sometimes not always the safest place. You know, things like water quality and there we go. All I did is just carved a notch in that. Nothing too fancy there. And then I think I'll take my other one, my brush, and clean that up. Clean that up just a hair. A curated tour, yeah. So I did in high school, I did a sort of a curated tour of Costa Rica. That was a bit more touristy than I guess I'd care to admit, because it was through my high school. So they wanted things to be safe, but it was really nice. We drove all around the country, because it's a small country. Arenal, the volcano that's there. There were some hot springs below it. We stayed in the capital city of San Jose. Wait, San Juan or San Jose? I'm sorry, I got the two confused. One's Puerto Rico, one's Costa Rica. We drove through the mountains. We went into a rainforest. It was a really good trip for high school. So it was with, you know, some of your high school classmates too. I didn't have a whole lot of friends in high school. I was friendly with everyone, but I wasn't like friends with any of them really. But it was with my Spanish classmates, so it was kind of fun, you know, getting to use a little bit of our Spanish. There we go. Yeah, I'm glad I carved that in there. That'll do. Oh yeah, that'll do. Cool. Yeah, Costa Rica is a beautiful country. Again, it's not like we didn't really face any like unscrupulous or criminal activity that we had to like avoid. I do remember when we were in the capital, we wore our backpacks that had all of our stuff in it. We wore it on our front because of pickpockets. Again, there were no incidents or anything with our group. We had a tour guide who was always with us, who was a local. Yeah. Where do I put the battery on this guy? Back here for weight balancing? Or do I want it more forward biased? Because this is a pretty aggressive. I'm gonna put it back farther. Yeah. I don't want to comment on that, but I'd say no. Yeah, regarding visiting India. I love Indian food. Now, I don't know how authentic the Indian food that I've had is, though. Like, I don't know. I don't want to eat anything, like, too absolutely wild. I'm not a picky eater, but I'm also not, like, insanely adventurous. Like, if you're like, yeah, eat these bull testicles, I'm gonna be like, I'll pass. But if it's, like, liver or something, I'll try it once. That looks like a good spot for the battery, huh? Alright. Put this back together and see how much it weighs. I'll do it without skates first. I know it's going to be under 40 grams because I think we took off, this was 46 grams, and then the battery swap probably was -6, so now we're at like 40. And then the the base cutting or sanding will probably give us was another 2. I was surprised at how much I was able to get out of it from the base. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised because it is a large flat base. So one tip, if you guys ever try this sanding mod, is the first place that you burn through. Okay, assuming you press down evenly and you mitigate heat. Oh, there's so much stuff I would do differently that I learned later on. Like, heat management is your #1 priority, and wet sanding is 100% the way to go. I just took a squirt bottle. I posted a picture to the Discord, and I would just squirt a little bit of water on the sanding belt as it was running, and then I would sand, and that would dissipate the heat nicely, because what you happen to get if you have too much heat is you get warped bases. So my Deluxe M800 Ultra here is warped. It's hard to tell, but she's warped. I don't think it'll be bad because I got screws in the back here that'll button it up, and it's like a uniform warping. It's a front to back warping, not a left to right. The point is, if you attempt it, I would absolutely use water. I would start with probably 100. I started with 80 grit sandpaper, and that's not terrible. I probably would have started a little bit finer if you really have a lot. If you really have a lot of material you're trying to get through. Okay, if you want to do it right, like the best results, I would say go like 80, then like 300, then an 800, then like 1,000, and then if you really want a glossy bottom, I ended at 800 here, and it feels smoother than it looks. Then after like 1,000, you can go for a glossy finish with like a 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 grit, and then and that'll get you like a semi-gloss. If you want a true gloss, then you could go and get into polishing. I think Schwamper said he hasn't tried that, but he would like to at some point. So what I would recommend, though, if you just want to do it quick and dirty, I don't think you'll be able to get away with doing it with a single grit. If you do, I would maybe go like 400. I guess you could, actually. You probably could get away with just 400. If you are only wanting to take down the skate ridges, then I would say you could start at 800 or something. But if you really want to reduce weight and get it thinner, I think you can't really start higher than 400. Then I would wet sand. After you wet sand, immediately clean everything off with I was using a compressed air blow nozzle. That worked wonderfully. That worked absolutely wonderfully, except I made one critical error, and that was I waited for everything to dry. I dried it overnight, and what happens is I posted a picture to the Discord. The sandpaper gets, or the sanding residue, it's this slurry of plastic, but it's like a plastic powder. It's a fine powder. It's like flour, like baking flour. So when you combine it with water, it becomes like a mud, like a clay, like a mud, plastic mud. And I dried that out because I was like, oh, it'll be easier once it dries out. I can just blast it all away. It's like a mud. It's like a clay, so it's sticky. So you blow it. I mean, it's dried out, but it's left in clumps. So I was in there with a toothbrush, cleaning all of it, then blowing it off, then cleaning it. If I had thought, I wouldn't have let it dry. I would have, right as I finished wet sanding, the only wet sanding I did was the 800 grit. I would have wet sanded and immediately blew it off and then put it somewhere to finish drying out. That's what I would do differently. So yes, wet sand all grits to dissipate heat, because when you're in the material removal phase of doing like 80 grit, heat will lead to warping. I did notice wet sanding will get you like a slightly finer finish. Not a ton. I don't know. Like using a worn sandpaper pad also will get you a slightly finer finish also. It's a little bit spongy in a couple spots. Yeah, so what happens is the biggest tip I can give, other than using water, it's when you give even pressure, you want to make sure that you're pressing from very even points. So I would often press from, I would leave the PCB in, which means when you press down on the PCB, you're going to get pretty consistent pressure all around. You don't want to press down on the scroll wheel fingers because that will wear through first. So you want to press down evenly. And even when you're pressing down evenly, the first area to burn through is the back heel here. So I'll show it on probably one of my other mice. Let's see, which is a good candidate to show that off with. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is Deluxe M500. I actually burned through the back here because it was a split skate design, but you can just see how it's the back portion that burns through first. But yeah, I did this on purpose because I wanted to go with a solid skate here, but I don't think I was really thinking because the dongle door still needs to go here and I did not sand that down, so small mistake made there. I'll have to go sand down the dongle door. Wait till Neon wakes up, he'll slander the country. Make a guide on it, maybe for Discord or Reddit. Yeah, that's the thing. Things just take too much time. If this was my job, I would do that in a heartbeat. But like I said, it's, what time is it? It's like 11:30 at night. Yeah, it's 11:26 p.m. And I gotta be at work at 7:30 tomorrow morning in 8 hours, so time is the most precious resource. I'm also worried on some of these that I might have weakened them too much, but we'll see. A live stream of me destroying 40 mice. Yeah. So the M-Chose L7 Ultra here, I didn't necessarily need to do it to this, because the skates on this are already pretty good. Yeah, DPI button still works great. Yeah. Okay. Let's check weight of this. This is what I'm most curious on. So no skates. I'm gonna guess like, she's light, chat. That's light. Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm gonna say like 37.6. Wow, 34? 34.47. Did you add armor and opticals to the RSR7? Yes I did. Did I do that on a stream? I might have done that on a stream. I don't love the RSR7. Yeah, what's up, Soul Out? I'll sell you mine if you're in the US. I'm not very happy with it. It's a fine shape. It's like a fine mouse. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I own so many of the shape. I don't know. If I want to sell it too, I should probably put it back to stock, put the stock battery back in it, put the stock switches back in it. The stock switches were fine. They were those Huano, they were these Huano transparent yellow with a white dot. Which are what? They're like Huano 120 million, 100 million, something like that. Yeah, I'll keep these M-Chose skates on this for now. But I wouldn't be opposed to, actually, can I just do I have, what are these here? I'd usually default to putting VXE R1 skates on everything. They're just a very universal design. Yeah, so these are M-Chose A5 skates right here. How do they fit? They fit okay. That back one doesn't fit the best. I wonder how the VXE R1 skates fit. So with the 11/11 sale, I don't know if I want to, but because of tariffs. I don't know that apparently there's like new tariffs being imposed, so. But I bet you the R1 skates, bro, they fit on everything. I live in Pennsylvania, would buy it in an instant. I want one. Yeah, sure, okay. I'll DM you in the Discord. I think I have pictures. Do you want me to revert it back to stock? That's no problem. It has Iron Optical soldered in, and then it has a 150 milliamp hour battery. So, hang on. After I see if this skate fits, I'll go grab the scale. Oh, bro, it fits, like, perfectly. Oh my gosh. Like, it's darn near made for the mouse. The VXE R1 skates, dude. I'm telling you. Yeah. The Iron Opticals in it feel fine. If I'm being honest, right mouse feels a little bit better than left mouse. But they still feel fine. Yeah, I have the stock skates on this too. I think I got it down to, I think the battery swap is 40 grams. 41. And the other thing is I did slightly polish this with the Brillo pad. And then with a, so it's not gloss, it's not quite glossy. I don't know if it's coming through on camera. It has a little bit of gloss to it. But the stock coating is abysmal. Well, it's no coating. Like even if you're not a fan of this, what they had stock was so bad. Oh my gosh. It was like the only reason that I wouldn't be able to recommend the mouse. Yeah. I'll use it a little bit at work tomorrow to give it a second chance. I think for me the highlight is really, the scroll wheel is really nice and notchy. And middle mouse is spammable. Side buttons are really good too. They don't sink into the shell. They have a little bit of teeter-totter, but they protrude a good amount and they don't sink into the shell. For the shape, it's just pretty basic. It's like a longer, like a combination of a Sora V1 and V2. It has the length of the V1, but the side geometry is a little bit more like V2. Let me grab my Soras here. Oh yeah, V1's actually a little bit longer. I think I like the V1 shape more, and then the Sora V2 here for comparison. V2 looks like it's like not that much shorter. It feels shorter. Yeah, these are decent. These Soras are decent mice. I don't know. RSR7, it's like the same league as the Soras. What's your personal favorite shape from these sanded ones? I don't know. I haven't gotten through them yet, but I'm guessing the only one I really missed was the VG and F2. Also, the Centauri is one of my all-time favorite shapes too. So, one of those two probably. I'm tempted to keep the MCHO skates on this just because I don't know what else I'm going to do with these MCHO skates. Wow, even the MCHO skates don't seem like they fit that well. You know, sanding the base, it like makes the base wider. So you can almost fit like different skates on it now. I want to say these skates are going to add a couple of grams of weight though. Being under 35 grams is pretty baller. Oh my gosh, dude. VXE R1 skates. Look at that fitment, guys. Look at that fitment. That's nuts. Alright, and we'll take off the MCHO skates. Man, these friggin' tariffs, dude. I want to stock up on even more VXE R1 skates. There's a coin seller who has them for pretty cheap. Like, I think I end up getting them for like 80 cents for a set. And these are good. They're like, they kind of remind me of X-ray pads. I don't freaking know which skates, but they're kind of... Look at that. Looks stock, dude. I can tell that the skates added weight. That's hilarious. The mouse is just so light as it is. So on Discord, that guy who shined up his base after sanding it down looked incredible. Yeah, that was, I think, Schwamper. 36.66 grams, huh? That's pretty good. 34 grams without the skates. So if you do dots on this dude, you got like a 35 gram mouse that's actually built pretty well. Oh yeah, I do have a little bit more side flex now. Yeah, still feels solid though. Yeah, that's cool. Right on, dude. Right on. I'm happy with that. Good mod. God, my freaking tag on my jeans is making my ass so itchy. All right. How does it sound and feel? The RSR7? It's fine. I mean, they're Omron optical, so they have the slight pinginess. Scroll wheel is really notchy but quiet. Rubber on the scroll wheel is nice and rubbery. The scroll wheel is the highlight, I think, for me. The skates are actually pretty decent. They aren't in little recessed cavities like the markings you see here. Those are recessed. They're not proud. So you do get goobers that like to collect around the edges because there is no rim to guard against that. So you will be fighting that, but I can also include the stock battery if you wanna. I have it somewhere here. RSR7, there it is. Stock battery, 8.54 grams for 500 milliamp hours, actually very good. Yeah, I'll set that off to the side. I'll probably use it tomorrow at work just to be really sure that I do want to sell it, but I probably do. Again, it's a good mouse, it's just there's so many good mice in these days. So why don't we do the VGN F2 next? Should be an easy one that doesn't require any modding. Already got the battery done. I don't remember what my weight was on this before. I could look up my pictures. What a fantastic mouse though this is. Oops. VGN F2, if you want like it's like an updated Viper V2 Pro, dude. It is so good. Shockingly, the Omron opticals in it, they feel fine. They're not like out of this world. I don't know, they're just a little bit spongy because of the I don't know if it's because of the shell design on the clicks. I'll try modding that real quick. I will drop those, make it a little bit lighter. Where did I set down my screwdriver? It's probably like right in front of me and I just don't see it. What? Oh, there it is. Okay. Bottom base has similarities to Uni's Black Lotus. Wonder if it's the same factory. Yeah, so Uni's Black Lotus, Motospeed or Damo Shark recently posted a Twitter thing. We're going to talk about this on Mousecast. And they were showing off the M9, which is the new really big boy 136mm length mouse from Damo Shark. And at their booth, this was a Tokyo trade show, they had a Uni's Black Lotus. But yes, you're absolutely right about the base because it is 100% a Vancer factory mouse. So first of all, the RSR7, the 3395 on it is labeled Keychron 3395. The RSR5 was the same way. And then, oh yeah, I can see why these don't feel great. That's just not very bendy. That's why I'm gonna mod this. So here, I'll show you guys how I typically mod. Or how I used to mod these fulcrums. I don't always do this unless it needs it, but so the fulcrum, this one just is really stiff. So I'm just gonna make some relief cuts in the back of it to promote it to want to bend more. Sorry, I'm gonna kind of do this off camera because I don't want to mess it up. But Vance are also, like, all these Vance are factory PCBs and shell designs all look kind of the same, and they'll use the same scroll wheel rubber, like, lightning bolt zigzag pattern, and that's in fact what the RSR7 is using. I have had some recent Vancer factory mice, like Daz let me borrow his, oh, what was the name of it? There was the Groove and the Thrash. I forget which one it was, but holy crap did it feel cheap. That was a forgotten about release. The RSR7 definitely feels better than those. RSR7 I would classify as like, I would classify it as A tier. I think the like coating, the stock coating is really, really bad. Surface finish is not a coating. But I kind of polished mine up, so should be much more usable. Okay, there we go. That feels better too. Oh, my itchy butt with my stupid pants tag. Oh, Thrash is an amazing shape. Whoever decided on that low sensor placement needs to be let go, completely ruin the mouse. It's abominably low. Oh, abnormally low. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was the Thrash that Daz has. Oh my gosh, the creaking on his unit though, it was absolutely nuts. The creaking, the click quality. Bad, bad, bad. Can't believe the mouse launched at like $100. Okay, we got the clicks in. That's connected. Okay. All right. Did not do a perfect job sanding this base. You can kind of see the sensor ring is partially sanded, partially not. In reality, you can barely see it more than you feel it. You might be able to see the base is like semi-translucent too, and I can't really see it. Ever so slightly. How do you guess the factories and shapes? I'm such a noob. Oh, you can just kind of tell through if you do this enough. Like ATK, all of ATK and VGN mice, the PCBs have like, they'll use the same font and they use the same screws. Alright, power's on. Oh, that did improve click quality. Excellent. Oh, I love this mouse. Wow. What a great shape. Very aggressive hourglass on this. It's fun. Alright, no skates. This might be under 40 grams without skates. 39.26. Wow. I'm gonna take a picture for Daz. It's no skates, so I'm cheating a little bit, but I guess if you did dots. Alright guys, I'm gonna message Daz and see if he sees this. He's asking how my weight balancing is on the IPIG, and I was like, I don't remember where I located the 150 milliamp hour battery, but it's front heavy now, or in line with where I grip far forward. We'll send him a couple pictures. No skates after sanding. 150 miles swap. Nuts. Yeah, dude, a mouse this size at 39 grams, this is pretty unreal. Pretty unreal. So I should put skates back on this guy. Translucent achieved. Can you pull down the audio one notch on stream if no one minds? Yeah. Let's see. Oh, one notch down is off. Okay. Okay, I think that's about as low as I can go on the YouTube player right there. But yeah, I know I'm talking rather quietly here. I have the door open and my wife is sleeping, so the VXCR or VGN F2 skates, should I put the stock skates back on it? Or is the play always VXCR1 skates? It might be. The front skate on this is kind of a arcing shape though, so I don't know if I would be able to really emulate that. I don't think I have another skate. I think I have a Saurus skate that is sort of that way. I want to kind of research went into the center skate rings being like kind of D-shaped. You guys notice that Razer does D-shaped rings, and then Logitech is oval. Here's the Rocket Cone Pure KP Cone Pro Air, whatever. I can't think, dude, I cannot keep their stupid cone names straight. Anyway, that uses a circle center skate ring. Any interest in getting the VGNY2 if one gets good coin steel? Yeah, I have one. I've had one for a while. I actually have two because I toasted the solder pads on one trying to swap Omron opticals into it. It's a really good mouse if you like the NPONS shape. I have mine modded down to... Here's mine. This is the Ultra with the Omron opticals, which feel... The Omron opticals in this copy feel really good. The sideburns are kind of small, but it's an S tier mouse. Other than the weakest point is the skates, they're just not very well rounded. But like the clicks feel really good build quality, good coating. The shape's not absolutely my favorite, but I do like it. Side buttons are solid AF, dude. Especially that back button, no teeter totter, no shell sinking in. They don't have a lot of tactility though. They're kind of like short in travel. The scroll wheel feels like an MCHO scroll wheel or middle mouse, where it's just kind of stiff. 44.35 grams after a battery swap and with the stock skates. So, it's a good mouse. I should use it more. Schwamper says, Ayo. What time is it for you, Schwamper? Also, I got some pads in this week that I've been enjoying. I got them from ESP or Rapso on our Discord. He's the guy who does, like, whenever you Google for mousepad reviews, and there's the guy who leaves the Reddit reviews, and they're like really detailed with good photos. Yeah, that guy. I got 3 pads from him, and I've been enjoying all of them. I used one of them today at work. I used the other one while gaming briefly today. The third one I haven't put time on yet. It was the... Oh, I guess I'm done with this one. I need to come up with a way. Sometimes skates just don't want to stay down the best after you pop them off. Oh, let's see what the weight is with skates. The skates probably added about, I bet you it's going to be 40.96. Close. 40.69. Yeah, dude, 40 grams. So I had to reduce this by like almost a gram and a half, 2 grams. That is a light mouse, brothers. What a fantastic aggressive shape. Oh, man. Dude, VGN. Just sell all your mice and just buy VGN, ATK, VXE, Mad Lions. It's all the same company. Factory, whatever. Did I forget the dongle? I did. Beautiful. What pads are they? You know, I love mouse pads. So they are, I'll show you guys on stream. Okay, the first one here is the Fanatic Dash 2 Max. It's a hybrid pad. It's just like really nicely made. The stitching is below surface. sort of. Really nice quality. Even the back, look at the max foam pour around 6mm. Sure. Yeah, it's just a good quality pad. It's 480 by 480. I refuse to buy anything that's like the standard sizes. So I gamed on this pad. It's soft. It's like between an X soft and a soft, and it's 6mm, so it's kind of interesting to play on. But the surface, I really like the surface. It's a fairly skin-friendly surface. Kind of reminds of the Aqua Control Zero, where it's has some grittiness, but it's still very skin-friendly. Then the other pad, another pad, I use this briefly at work. This is the X-Ray Pad Heavy B Control version. It's too bad they did this little tag here. So you can see the honeycomb pattern, X-Ray Pad logo on the backside. Don't think this is really showing up too great, but sorry, you guys are working with what I got here. And the honeycomb pattern, it feels kind of cold to the touch. Like, you guys ever use those cooling pillows? Yeah. So this base, it's like, it's probably like a soft in terms of firmness, but the foam in it is like a memory foam, so it like rebounds rather slowly, which makes it feel more stiff. Yeah. But yeah, the little honeycomb things are cooling to the touch, like a cooling. And I also am borrowing, I currently have Daz's Heavy B Speed here, and the Heavy B Speed just like really underwhelms me. It is not, do I still have it in here? Yeah. Yeah, the control feels faster, like depending on the skates. Feels higher quality too. Anyway, the last pad that was a bit of a surprise for me is, oh my god, I don't even know. It's called the Zhu Long, ZHU Long, and it's a speed pad. I forget what he calls it in his review, but I'm pretty sure it's spandex because it has that kind of swooshy sound, but similar to the Infinity Mice Ruin, where that is also a spandex pad, this one has a clear XY differential. So it's much quieter in this direction, and then this direction it's much louder. So yeah, it's like a textured spandex pad. So another 500 by 500. The color's kind of off. It's actually kind of unappealing. It's like an off burgundy. All really good pads. I got them for $60 for the 3 shipped. He kindly asked, he was like, would you ship, would you trust me to just do friends and family? And I thought about it for a moment, because my rule of thumb is I won't do that if it's over a certain dollar amount, if I've never transacted with the person, etc, etc. Apparently I've transacted with him before on Mouse Market. He came up in my PayPal, and I was like, if this dude decides to scam me, I'm just gonna make like a post showing all the message history and stuff. No, don't do as I did though. The real reason for wanting to do for goods and services is in the event that something does go wrong. So in the event that the pads are delivered and they got rained on, friggin' UPS didn't put it under my patio, under my porch. They get rained on, they get ruined or something. You go to dispute, you put in a claim for like the insurance or whatever, and they deny it or whatever. And then it's like, well, maybe, you know, you can ask the seller back for money, but if they're not gonna, you know, in their mind, you know, it was delivered, it's not their fault, blah, blah, blah. So really the protection is there for, it's not about trusting the guy or not. It's the same reason why, like, I don't know, you don't drive I don't need airbags in my car because I'm a good driver. It's not about you and your abilities, it's about the unpredictable. So let's do this Centauri next. The Zhu Long is not an ESP Tiger pad. You can look it up on Reddit. ZHU Long, Long, 2 words, Zhu Long. Did you ever try Talon Games pad? They make really good clone pads and the price is cheap here in Indonesia. I have not tried them. I saw them on my AliExpress recently. There's one for around $34, sorry. My little line on the sand that I draw is I don't buy anything that's not 500 by 500. Funny thing, Neon Thunder in our Discord, he doesn't buy anything that is not 3950 sensor. And I was like, bro, there's like no discernible difference. And he's like, there's too many good products on the market. I'm simply like just drawing a line in the sand so I don't just go buy everything. And I was like, okay, I get that. Because I do the same thing with mouse pads. Gotta be 500 by 500. And I do the same thing with mice, with colors. I avoid mice like the plague if they are only black white. If it comes in a unique colorway, I will pay an upcharge for that handily. The only time I will take a white or black is if I'm like really interested in the mouse and it's the only option available. So like I do have a cone, Rocket Cone Pure Pro Air, whatever the hell, right here. That if I can get my hands on a black one, I'm gonna color swap bits and pieces to make it like a zebra style. Alright. How about the Centauri? This should be a super fast one because they're using a TTC silver wheel in this, huh? Nice. Alright. And it looks like I put the sticker on the inside. Interesting. Yeah, because sanding it, I didn't want to... This one I did successfully sand down the back, so now I can do a single skate on the back. Happy about that. And I don't think... I can get my fingernail on the power slider. I don't think I need to cut that out. Yeah, translucence was achieved, though. Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of coming through. PCB blocked some of it. Neon is a rich guy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I believe him though when he said, didn't he say he like, I forget what he said. I don't believe him though. I don't know. He does spend a lot of time on Discord though. The thing is, he's like by far the most active user in our Discord, but also he's active on other Discords, and how he has the time for that, I don't know. So maybe he is loaded and he doesn't have to work. I don't know. I told Lauren the other day, I was like, if you're my breadwinning wife, I would, and I didn't have to work, I 100% would try to start like a mouse company or something. And she was like, I'm sorry to disappoint. Maybe someday. I do have ideas, but I don't think anything would majorly contribute, so it's probably too saturated of a market anyway. Yeah, so all of my buy-sell trading that I do, I keep spreadsheets of it because, well, for tax reasons, because all my eBaying and stuff, the IRS gets that information, so, oh, you made $3,000 in eBay sales this year, huh? You're gonna have to pay income tax on that $3,000, and it's like, no. I bought and sold that stuff and pretty much broke even on everything once you account for shipping and fees. So I have to keep a spreadsheet showing, yes, I had $3,000 in revenue, but I also spent $2,983 to get all those mice and pay for all the shipping and blah blah blah. So I keep a spreadsheet of everything, but I also just do it to be like fiscally responsible too. Because like my collection is absolutely nuts. I mean, yeah. So I don't know, like 150 mice or so, something like that. Absolutely more if I'm counting like good wireless ones, you know, like 33.95 and better type stuff. So I try to just keep my spreadsheet even. Though right, it's been in the red for the past little while, but that's okay because the collection has grown at a rate that is over the. I think I'm in the red by like $700, but I could literally sell all my WL mouse products and instantly be breaking even again, so I'm not too worried. Finally sold the final mouse Pegasus that I had listed forever. Happy about that. Do IRS track everything? Sorry, I'm a noob. Yeah, I heard you try to do it to net zero cost wise. What's the single best way you found to make your money back? Ooh, that's a good question. So you have to accept that you will not make money back. By the way, this is what I do with side buttons that don't protrude enough, is you just put grip tape just on the side buttons. And this actually kind of color matches it. But yeah, white grip tape is usually bad for discoloration. You have to accept that you will not make your money back. You will not make your money back. So, for example, I want to sell you the, or not you, Schwamper, Soul Out in chat was interested in the James Donkey RSR7. You know, I'm curious. How much did I buy the RSR7 for? I don't think I got it on a crazy good deal. Yeah, I don't want to show anything on stream that's not okay to show. So I will just verbally say, yeah, this is what my spreadsheet looks like. James Donkey RSR7, $33.95 yellow. I paid $53.65 after shipping and taxes. So my spreadsheet is my actual cost. So $53.65. I had Rakuten 15%. I have that it is tracked, but it is not confirmed yet for $12.70. So once that confirms, I will have spent $41 on it. Okay. If I sell that RSR7 to Soul Out for, let's say, $50, and let's say we do PayPal. PayPal charges roughly 5% fees. So that $50 that I receive, I actually only receive $47.50. And then I'm going to have to pay to ship it. And shipping that with the box will probably be somewhere between $5 to $8. So I'm going to go from $47.50 down to about $40. So given that I spent $41 on it, it is a net like loss of like $1-ish, and give or take. It's pretty negligible, but it's also like all the trouble that I did of spreadsheeting this, of making sure the Rakuten's stacked and sending them a support ticket to try to get that, deal shopping, boxing it up, buying the label, packing it up, testing it, the modding that I did to it. You know, it was a total waste of time. So, sorry, long answer to your question is you gotta not do it for the money. It's simply just like not for the profitability. You gotta do it as like, you have to be disciplined. I'm not gonna buy something until I make this back or until I get rid of X number of them. So I don't know if I want to do this entirely skits, because I can do the flat back now, and this dongle storage is useless because it uses a full-size dongle. So, do we do RSR, or I'm sorry, do we do VXC-R1 skates? Probably. I bet you those are going to fit. That's going to fit real nicely. Oh, I don't know how many I have left. This might be like my last one here. But yes, I do try to stay cash neutral. The best I can, you know? Like if I see a WL mouse pop up on eBay for like $60, I'll just buy it. and flip it. I mean, then you flip it for $100. eBay takes, bro, eBay fees. eBay takes 15%. And they do that percentage after shipping and taxes. It's criminal. It's really dumb. That fits pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So you sell something for $100. Your fees are going to be roughly like $17. And then your shipping label is going to be like, let's say, $7. That's domestic US. So you sell it for 100, but you're only going to see, what did I say, 17 and 7? You're only going to see $76. So something that I got a smoking deal on for $60, I only made $16 on it. So yeah, you got to not do it for the money. You do it for the discipline, I guess. Also, I'm like a bit of a nerd, I guess, and I like spreadsheeting things, so there's that. Yeah, the skate fitment isn't absolutely perfect, but it's pretty good. These still might be bigger than the, because when you sand the base down, it gets like wider. So like, yeah, the VXZ skates are the same size, or the original skates are the same size. But yeah, the base is just wider now because I've sanded it down. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll pack these up. eBay's fees frustrate my soul. Try to sell everything through Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, all my son. Yeah. So that's the thing that I have learned is I have stopped selling on Mouse Market because just the overhead of, yes, the fees are lower on there because it's only PayPal 5% instead of eBay 15%. But all the upkeep you have to do with reposting and redoing timestamps, and oh, you fuck up on the title once, and the mods keep. I don't know if you saw this in the Discord, but like first Mousecast, I got banned from Mouse Market. Yeah, the mods keep like a background log of your infractions. So I had like 5 infractions. I got banned a second time even. Yeah. And they don't tell you. And the infractions are like, so there's rules to Mouse Market that y'all might not know about. So one is you can't do a post, you can't comment without the intention to purchase. So technically all of the posts that are like, hey, this price actually isn't that great, it's currently on sale for this elsewhere, those are technically not allowed. They generally are okay if you just straight up say, like, if you just straight up are just critical of a price and be like, bro, that's a terrible price. Yeah, that's an infraction, and they count that. And they might not delete your comment, they'll just count it as an infraction. And when you get to 3, they ban you. If you're pretty active on there, they'll give you some grace and they'll give you till 5, which is what they did with me. But yeah, so if you mess up on a title also, like the formatting, like I remember on one of them, I kid you not, I did USA-MI for the location instead of US-MI. I'm not kidding. And that was one of my infractions. Ridiculous. I understand like wanting to do things, you know, they're mods, they're volunteer mods. They don't have time to babysit, but I wonder if Centauri is ever going to release another mouse. They called this one the S10, which is like a weird name for a solo product, you know? But it's the Agaz S10. The Mirage is the colorway. Would you launch a mouse brand or collab on a design? Background tracker. That's how it's implemented. Oh, I don't know. Mouse Market is too strict. I understand they're trying to make it smooth, but they really ban for a small infraction. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They use some back-end thing. That's cool. Well, good for them. Oh, we didn't get a weight of this. Shoot. I'm sorry. I did not get a weight of this. Well, I don't know what it was before the skates, but the skates we determined they're like 1.75 grams, 1.8 grams. 45 grams on the Centauri, dude. Yeah, it's a nice mouse. Good weight, too. 45 grams is totally acceptable for a mouse this size. Oh, Lindsay asks, what's your opinion on the build quality in ATK/VGN mice? Is the plastic the same quality, rigidness as Cyrox? Yeah, pretty much. Depends on the shape too. Like the ATK X1, I think, is one of their better made mice. The ATK Z1, the main clicks have a lot of wobble. This is an ATK Z1. Yeah, they just have a lot of wobble. Scroll wheel on this thing is absolutely massive. Huge, huge ring. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much the same quality, though. I don't know. I kind of lump, like, M-Chose, ATK, Cyrox. I wouldn't be surprised if they're all the same factory. I don't think they actually are, but they're just, like, the very, very similar. Oh, I should put that center skate on the Centauri. I don't know if it actually is necessary, but, like, why not? Move the sticker down. No, I'll leave the sticker there. That's fine. Oh, how is that implemented? Background tracker? I don't know. It's not. None of that is viewable, as far as I can tell. The whole tracking thing. No, it's just the mods just messaged me one day, or I was banned. I didn't even get a message. I was just banned from Mousemark, and I was like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And they were like, "You have 5 infractions." It was this, this, and this. I was like, okay, can you have some grace? I'm pretty active on here. So yeah, I don't sell on Mouse Market anymore. The thing is, the quiet part that I'll say out loud is, Mouse Market, you might have lower fees. eBay, you get a bigger audience, so you can ask more money. I sold the other day a Final Mouse Starlight 12 that had been, granted, it had been listed for like 200 days. This thing was not moving. I had it listed at like 270, dropped it down to like 260, 250, 240. It sold after shipping for like $250. If I had sold that on Mouse Market, I bet you I wouldn't have gotten $200. So if I sold it, let's say I sold it for $200, 5% fee, that knocks me down to 190. The shipping let's nullify because eBay and PayPal shipping is going to be pretty much the same. Instead, I sold it for $250. eBay takes 15% fees. So 15% of 250 is what, 30 plus another, God, it's late. I like can't do math. Then another 15% of $50. It's like $750. So I would have spent like $27, $28 in fees, but I charged more. So I'm still netting, coming out ahead like an additional $20-ish. So, but with eBay, it's so easy. And your time is valuable to put whatever dollar amount you want to if you want. But eBay, you don't have to renew a listing with new timestamps. People can submit offers. You don't have to go through a clunky Reddit messaging thing. You don't have to go back and edit a post. I just copy paste a bunch of info into my spreadsheet. It's just so much easier. So yeah, the only thing I really do on Mouse Market anymore is buying when I see a good deal. And I'm bad about confirming my trades. I think I only have like 50 confirmed trades, but my lifetime on there, I probably have like over 100 transactions. Daz is much better about confirming his trades. Oh, let's do this one of these stupid Kale optical switches that like feel good as switches, and then you actually put them into a mouse and they feel like crap. Have you used many glass mouse pads? I feel like Battlefield is a good game to play on glass. Not really. I have a couple glass pads. This is a weird take, but I feel like an Uber sweat when I have to wear a sleeve. So the thing I don't understand are where are plastic pads? That's something I don't get, dude. Plastic pads they're so much more skin friendly, like humidity friendly than glass. You can get a lot of different surface properties to plastic. I mean, just look at all the different coatings that we have to mice. So I don't understand why plastic pads aren't more mainstream. I have an NPET Speed M. NPET, like Neopets. just the letter N then pet. Speed M, one word. NPET is the brand. Speed M is the model. That's just like a basic, I don't know, 490 by 420, I think, hard pad, and it's plastic with a little bit of texturing. So, like, if I were to start a mouse pad brand or company, I have some ideas for, like, mice, but, like, one thing I absolutely would do with a pad is plastic pads. I'd release, like, 3 variants of a plastic pad and have that kind of be market research also to see what people are buying. I don't know, man. Like, one of my favorite hard pads, if you will, is literally that cutting board from IKEA, or from Sam's Club, that I sanded down to get a slightly smoother feel. I don't know. I also did take, yeah, there was some point I was gonna do like a huge discussion about friction on Mousecast, but I haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, I took a tribology class, and I'm a mechanical engineer, and I took a tribology class in college. So I have like a little bit of knowledge there. It's nothing that you can't like pretty much Google though, so, but yeah, friction has always been kind of a fascinating phenomenon because it's something that we deal with on a daily basis. And so it's intuitive in some regards, but in other ways it's not intuitive and it's often overlooked. Tribology is the study of friction, lubrication, and wear. Comes from the Greek, what's the word for the main root of a word? Man, I'm so tired, I can't think. Whatever tribos means is Greek for to rub, or to rub together. So tribology. Nothing to do with like tribes of like indigenous populations. No, no, no. Tribos. I think I could do a good job if I were to have like a brand in terms of like being detail oriented and such, but I think it would just be a money pit. You guys hear about, I mean, like, it's cool to look at all these brands that are successful, but you gotta remember, those are the ones that are successful. You know, for everyone that you see that's successful, there's probably 10 that kind of... Was it the Raven brand? Or what was the pad brand that recently closed down? Not Midori. Was it Raven mouse pads? I forget. Artisan has one in the works. Boardsy owns one. Yep, we're going to talk about that hard pad in the Mousecast. Raku or something. Repu. Yeah, Repu. How you had it for Schwamper. R-E-P-U. Repu. Paying homage to your favorite Repupu. Etymology. Not quite etymology. Etymology is the origin of a word. But when you have a... for example, I don't know, think of like... like the word remember. Like there's probably a root to it because like remember, memory, they both have mem in them. Whatever that's called. This feels so damn creaky, dude. What a creaky mess. Oh my gosh. Oh, I see. That's because that's not closing. Okay, let's try closing that. There we go. Creaky mess of a mouse, dude. What a great shape with just a poor execution. Ugh. It's a shame because I like the shape more than my... Uranus. Kaisoni Uranus. Yeah, crazy unpopular take, but I actually really like the Cone Pure Air. I can't even remember the name of the mouse, dude. Oh, what a creaky mess, though. Center skate spin, though. Screws are in here. Dog's hanging out with me right now. She tired? It's so funny growing up with cats. They always tuck their, whenever cats sleep, they tuck their arms in, tuck their paws, and they'll do something. They'll curl up real tight. But Nova, she just sleeps like a piglet, arms extended. Yeah. You're a good dog. Yeah, I love you, baby girl. I wish I didn't have to go to work tomorrow. Just stay up with you. God, I want to go downstairs and make some popcorn or something. Watch a movie. The thing is though, guys, I can't. Like, even if I wanted to, I cannot have Mousecast tomorrow. The sacrifice for Mousecast, you guys, is real. Ugh. We gotta save energy for it. Cannot be sleep deprived. I do not take naps because I don't like inactivity. I feel like I never take naps because I'd rather spend that time doing something else. I have napped before Mousecast before though. I don't want to say frequently, but I definitely, it's not an irregular thing that I do. Like, I don't know, we've done 50 episodes. I've probably napped before Mousecast like 5 times or so. Which, if I think about it, those are probably the only naps I've taken in the past several years. Like, other than like being sick, Oh, this mouse feels like crap, dude. Oh my gosh, the creaking and the clicks. Disgusting. Novacam. How do you survive without naps and coffee? Yeah, that's right. I also don't do any caffeine. I don't drink any drinks other than water. I don't know. In that Reddit post where I was like, yeah, all I drink is water, one of the questions was like, yeah, wow, you must sleep great. I don't think it's the result of me only drinking water, but I'm very fortunate that I sleep well. Oh my gosh, just the creaking of this thing. It's just so bad. Oh, disgusting. The side buttons are up so high, but then it's like such a good shape. Like, you grip it and you have this lovely thumb groove, absolutely lovely thumb groove, and then this excellent pinky support back here. Like, this is a mouse that you can tell is like designed for a real human hand. Yeah. I should put skates on this. Good golly, what skates? M chose A5. It's probably gonna be too small. This is pretty funky. Like, look at how wide it gets, Should I just do dot skates on this? Should I whip out some of those dot skates that I have like 300 of that I got for $1? I don't even know where I put them. I think they're up here somewhere. My desk is a total disaster. I should have cleaned this up today instead of playing Crab Champions. But, dude, Crab Champions is so much fun. Yeah, I don't know where all those dot skates are, so I'll use these other dots. Any quick mythbusters about friction from the books that normies like me get wrong? Yeah, the easy to point to one is that friction is not dependent on surface area. In theory. In theory. That's the really easy one to point to that people don't understand, because you think like, oh, bigger mouse skates are going to be slower. No. So the problem with friction in the real world is that a lot of things that we rely on for grip, whether it's mouse skates or car tires, are deformable surfaces. But if you have two simple surfaces sliding on each other, two rigid simple surfaces, for example, experiment with a hard glass pad and how many dots you put on a mouse. As long as they're hard skates, which they should be if you're using it on a glass pad, there won't be any difference in the speed between 4 skates or 12. I'll probably do like all these dot skates on this. The formula for friction, you can look it up or ask ChatGPT right now. What's the friction formula? It's simply the normal force times the coefficient of friction. It's really simple. So the normal force is your downward force. Is your normal is a term for like math class. Normal is like perpendicular to a plane. So if the plane's a table, just means a perpendicular force. So me pressing down on the mouse with my finger here, that's the normal force. Times the coefficient of friction. So coefficient of friction is dependent on the two materials. A single material does not have a coefficient of friction. A coefficient of friction is two materials. So for example, take carpet. Take, you ever take a rug, like try to drag a rug across carpet? The carpet grips it really well. But do you ever put those like plastic feet skates on like your furniture to be able to move the furniture around? And then once you put those down, it moves all around super easy. Yeah, because the coefficient of friction of carpet to carpet versus carpet to plastic it's way lower. Yeah. I'm just gonna blow all these dot skates because they're coming off of this stupid thing anyway, so I don't really care. Also, I like bigger. I sometimes press down more than I like to into my mouse pad, so I like to have more surface area because that means my mouse won't sink down as much. Another good friction. Lindsay says, I still have my Rocket Savu from 2012. Bring back memories. The software can talk. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Rocket Savu. Which one was that? I need to look that up. Hang on. I'm curious what the Savu was. Rocket Savu. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. This whole generation of mice. I really like the Rocket Lua. That was a really, really small mouse. So the Savu is like a predecessor to Cone Pure. Yeah. Rocket Savu. Look at that well-worn one, huh? Right on, dude. Those thumb buttons are so high up. Yeah, back in the day, dude, their scroll wheels were so good. They used like an EPDM foam on them. It was so grippy. Hell yeah, go crazy with the dots. Let's see some creativity. Oh my gosh. And then, dude, the mouse creaks so much when I'm like trying to press him down here. Oh my goodness. That's funny. One thing that's surprising is in the mouse pad community, y'all understand the difference between static and dynamic friction. That's something that a lot of people don't understand. The example that I would usually give to people is, imagine you're moving into a house and you got all your belongings boxed up in a box. You'll notice sliding that box is a lot easier. Like let's say you're sliding on your living room carpet. Sliding that box, getting it started is kind of tough. But once you, like if it's a really heavy box, getting it started is kind of tough. But once you have it in motion, it's easier to keep it in motion than having to stop. That's just static friction versus dynamic. And that's because you have adhesive forces that contribute to static friction when something is at rest, particularly for a long period of time. Like a really good example is, I don't know, you have like I don't know, what's a good example? I got this gas grill out on my deck for, grilling hot dogs and hamburgers and other American things, because that's all we do, right? And if I don't touch those knobs, like all winter, they get kind of stuck in place. But if I'm using it every day during the summertime, it's no problem. So over time, you have some adhesive forces that can happen for different things. Sometimes there's different types of bonding. You know, it can be chemical, like, you know, corrosion or rust. Man, I'm just trying to fold this perfectly in half, and I'm like, oh, is that it? We're gonna call that good enough. Yeah. Anyway, so the mousing community, understanding the difference between static and dynamic friction is really interesting. You know, static is starting from a stop, from a standstill, so accelerating the object, and then dynamic is once the object is in motion. Okay, let's put the MCHO skates on here. Nice, they fit. They fit quite nicely. And pressure is related to area. Yeah, well, you're overthinking that. I mean, think of like, what's a unit of pressure? PSI? Pascals? Here in the States, PSI is the common one. And literally, what does PSI stand for? Pounds per square inch. So it's just pounds divided by inches squared. So yeah, area, inches squared, right on the denominator there. Yeah, so friction does not depend on the friction. The simple friction formula does not depend on pressure. Depends on normal force. But yeah, normal force is, you know, pressing down, and then pressure is that same force downward divided by the area. So where pressure does matter is, you know, think about a dot skate sinking into an X soft pad. If you don't press down on that dot skate at all, and it just glides on the surface, it's going to glide pretty quickly. But if you press down into that X soft pad where that dot is now digging into it, now, gosh, if I can even demonstrate that. Now instead of, if this is the mouse pad here and my finger is the dot skate, instead of just gliding on the surface, I'm now pressing down into that and deforming the surface. And now when I want to go move it, I have to overcome. I'm not just sliding anymore. I'm also like continuing to press down the surface. So yeah, and you can look up, yeah, you can knock yourself out looking up like why car tires, for example, why wider car tires are desirable for, you know, racing. Because that's, oh, but they're not. Now there's a flaw right there. It's wider tires are grippier. Therefore, friction must depend on surface area. The simple friction formula does not rely on area. MCHO's L7 Ultra. Cool. Yeah, I don't even know if I want to do that many more mice. I've been enjoying talking to you guys though, but I'm kind of getting tired. What time is it here? 12:34. Yeah, I need to be done. Okay, well, I ended up only doing a handful of mice. I only did 4 mice. But I did good ones, so maybe that goes to show you guys what I like, what I prioritize. The L7, we got to a really nice weight of like 34 grams before the skates on, which is just nuts. VGN Y2, 39 grams before the skates. That's wonderful. Oh, I didn't even weigh this guy. This Centauri we got down to 45 after skates. Very nice weight for the mouse. I don't know what the stock mouse is. I think it's advertised at 49, but I think it comes in higher than that. The Rocket at 46. Yeah, below 50 grams is totally okay. The WL mouse Strider that I would call my main quote-unquote is like 51, 52 grams. Yeah, it's funny. Shape matters a lot. If you're moving the mouse and switch 180 degrees and continue back, do you experience a moment of static friction? Yes. Because there's a moment in time where your velocity is 0. So yes. So changing direction, yes. Realistically, you could probably come up with a formula that's like, could you come up with like a formula that's speed dependent? Probably, possibly. I guess you'd have to study the cohesive forces a little bit more between a mousepad material and a skate to understand like what the minimum speed is before you start running into what we would call a static friction, where it starts slowing down again. But the short answer, my ink, is yes. Could you clear coat add a grippy coating to a mouse? Yes, I've done that before. Go look up some old mouse casts. I've used this product here, Petroleum Leak Seal. It's like a flexible rubber coating. It's amazing. It's better than any grip tape because you can get it on super thin because it's just a paint-on coating. The one downside is that stuff is transparent, so it does over time your finger oils show up in it. But yeah, it was really grippy. If you have really oily hands, then like if you lotion your hands, then you would have to kind of rub that off because it's like a liquid rubber. I don't know. It's like liquid rubber. It's like, how would I describe it? Yeah, it's like a snot. It's like a snot coating. It worked great though. I took it off because I reached out to Rust-Oleum and I asked, is this safe for like long-term? Okay, so like the danger here, flammable liquid and vapor harmful or fatal if swallowed. That's because it's a solvent. You know, whatever they use in here, xylene or xylol, whatever. It's not great stuff. It's like painting, you know, like spray painting. You have that solvent smell. So this has that. But solvents are, I mean, that's fine. The point of solvents, it's so that when you paint it onto something, the solvent helps with adhesion, the paint or the substance, this rubber stuff, to adhere to the surface, and then the solvent evaporates off. And that's the way you smell it, because the solvent evaporates. Rust-Oleum did not comment on if that was like safe for long-term hand use, and I was like, you know, I probably don't care. But the problem is, over time, like if you really start using the mouse a ton, you'll start developing wear spots, and it's really easy. The rubber coating, it's awesome. So if you put it on kind of thick, that means when you go to peel it off, if you've ever used like a peel coat or like a, what's the automotive spray paint, Plasti Dip, you can just peel it off all in one piece and it comes off really easy, and then you can just reapply it and it dries pretty quickly. I want to say probably I wouldn't like start using the mouse for 24 hours just because when you have hand contact that, anyway, yes. So yeah, rubber coatings are definitely a thing. Honestly, this Rust-Oleum thing, I could recommend that to people if you really want to try something. I got this huge ass thing for like $9. And yeah, I just used a little paintbrush to brush it on. I think I even have I think I have a video on my, wait, I have a YouTube short. Go watch that. I think I have a YouTube short of me doing it, I think. Does it dissolve the plastic? Really good question. It does not dissolve the plastic, but it did. Oh, I still have it on this one. Perfect. Okay. Can you guys see this? It's really hard to tell. I do not have it on this side, but I used to. And this mouse has like a micro texturing to it, like a GPX. And putting the coating on, this side does have the coating. Can you focus, please, camera? I'm trying to show the audience something. Damn. Okay, this side has the coating. There you guys go. You can see the bubbles in it. So that's another technique thing you got to get down, is it'll like to make bubbles, and the bubbles you can feel. So this right here, I have some use on this. So like dead skin kind of gets lodged into the rubber over time and it makes it kind of turn whitish, you can usually just take like a toothbrush, a little bit of water, gotta set my water bottle back down now. Usually take a toothbrush and some water and you can kind of scrub it away, scrub like the dead skin off. And then when I dry this off with my very sophisticated drying method, oh, it's still, I probably should have dried it off with something that's not a linty shirt with dog hair all over it. Yeah, it's a little bit grippy again. Yeah, that's nice. It's grippy. And it's like super thin. It does, so it doesn't change the shape. You can sort of feel the bubbles. One thing that I did is when I would put it on, I would go heavier on this ridge here so that I'd have like more of a ring finger ledge. I actually really enjoyed that. Anyway, sorry, going back to, does it dissolve anything? The micro texturing that's on this, it is now smoother down here. I don't think the camera is showing it, but also this is like kind of a berry red. And then down here, it's a little bit more pastel. It's a little bit more pinkish. So yes, it sort of dissolves it. It doesn't dissolve it like, you know, like dumping a solvent on it would. But it definitely does affect it. So if you do it, I don't know, this smoothness is actually kind of nice. Anyway. So I stopped doing it because, I don't know. I just have like, I don't know. You know why I stopped doing it? Because mice are getting so good. VGN F2 has an excellent coating. L7 Ultra has a good coating. This, I glossified this and I like the way that it feels. The Centauri has a good coating. It's like an ATK coating. So I don't know. It's just one more step. Yeah. But I left this side on. I never use this mouse. AJS. AJ179? 139. Yeah, I don't remember these mouse names from AJS sometimes, man. Yeah, it's not a bad mouse shape. It's like a low profile, smaller GPX. What's your most used mouse pad, your go-to? I don't really... Let's see, on my desk right now... I don't know, go back on past mousecasts and just see what's most commonly on my desk. Metrova Breeze is pretty common. All the Metrova pads I like, except for the Pink Storm, which Daz has, but the Metrova Violet Mist is a good one. But I would say overall my go-tos are spandex pads. So Artisan Raiden, Lamzoot Energon. At work I use a GameSense LiDAR. Dornfinger Destroyer. Metrova Breeze. Infinity Mice Ruin. I don't have an Infinity Mice in Infinite Speed. But yeah, I would say spandex pads are my go-to. Yeah. All of them are pretty darn close to one another. Like, I recommend to people getting into mouse pads. I had a gaming buddy who, like, he's tried a few different mice. Like, he had a Starlight 12. He's not super into it, though. He's not into it like we are. But he does like playing FPS games and likes having good hardware and knows he aims well with, like, small mice. So when I was like, maybe you should try mouse pads, he's like, I don't know, that's a rabbit hole I want to go down. And I mailed him a bunch of pads. And I mailed him categories. I was like, once you get into a type of fabric, you can get schizoed out about like all the different slightly variations in the weave. But I said, just focus on which fabric you like. Assuming like he doesn't, I did give him hard pad options. I sent him the NPET Speed M. He wasn't a fan, but so I'll tell people get a control pad. So this is probably basically what they already have, to be honest, but just clean it. Get a balance pad. So I usually say get a hybrid, Artisan Heian, Razor Strider. You know, like a Strider's, you know, you can get those on Amazon. You can get those in Best Buy. Then get a speed pad, something of a spandex pad or Raiden like, or even if you want to go to a coated pad like a Shidokai, you can. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can get into some other pads like Cordura. I did mail him a Cordura, but just the point is, if you're like pretty normie and you're not like one of us schizoed out people, just try one of each of the 3 or 4 categories. It's like what SteelSeries offers, right? Their new Pro lineup where they have the control, balance, and speed. Like, just go to Best Buy, buy all 3, pick the one you like, and return the other 2. That's honestly a really good strategy and what I'd recommend to normies. Because, guys, imagine like your normie ass friend going and explaining to him, "Oh, bro, you got to try this new drop. It's this new anime titty girl glass pad where they have a new texturing that's going to make the X feel different from the Y in this regard." And he's like, "What the hell, dude? I don't even want that on my desk." Your Meow Pad post got a lot of attention. Did it? I should check. What you do, there's remind me of silica gel grip tape from Ultra Glide. If too much oil, I got something on my screen here. Kind of loses grip, but when you clean it and rub it like that, it's grippy again. Yeah. Did my mouse pad? I know Pingu featured in his video. Raiden like cloth pads spandex Reddit. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find this. Let's go to Mousecast here. Sure, we can keep the music playing. I don't know why I paused it there. Similar to Raiden, is this it? Oh. Yeah, okay, this only has 5 upvotes. Anyway, this is mousepad similar to Raiden. This guy prefers an infinite speed V2 to a Raiden, which is, of course, true. Raiden is... I remember a friend telling me that Raiden is like something super duper special, and then I felt one, and I was like, oh, it's literally spandex, like my wife's leggings. And then you go down the rabbit hole of all these other spandex pads, and you realize the Raiden isn't really anything special. None of the artisan pads are really anything ultra special, though I haven't tried a Key 83. People say that one is special, but point is, it still is just fabric, guys. So I'm not saying that these are Raiden clones. I'm simply saying these are spandex pads. Yeah, so these are just some examples here. Meow Gaming Gear. Yeah, Freefall SV House. It contains spandex, but it's not a Raiden clone. Dornfinger Destroyers, surprisingly well made. The Lamzu Energon Pro is really well made. The 4114 Aero V2 I have. The Aero V1 I do not, but the Aero V2, it's weird. It's not... It's a spandex pad, but it's like a rougher spandex. It's like a very rough but tightly woven spandex. It's interesting. The Chuan Yun Daz has one. And that's it's a lot like the Energon where it's really, really soft. Ghost Glide's Masterpiece and Courage, I do not have either. I actually nearly bought a Masterpiece 500 by 500 or whatever the big size is from ESPer with all these other pads that I showed early on stream. But he was asking $45, and that's probably the right price for it. Like, maybe I could have asked him to go down to 40, but at that much, I don't know. I don't think it's that special. I have so many of these. The Dornfinger Destroyer is slept on. Really, really good pad. Really, really good pad. Like, Lamzu Energon is pretty tough to get your hands on. Destroyer is like the same quality. Also very smooth pad. Energon is by far the smoothest, though. Out of everything here, Matrova Breeze and Lamzu Energon are the smoothest. Least amount of texture. Meow Gaming Gear Ultra Neon I haven't tried, though Shoal Doge was not a huge fan of it. I had to say Alt 2 V2 on top. Yeah, I do really like Daz's Hayate Atsu. Tenta X Jinsoku I haven't tried, though when I went over the Shoal Doges he had one, I think, and it felt pretty nice. QCK Performance Speed feels like a pretty run-of-the-mill. It's fine as a spandex surface. I felt one at Micro Center. I don't entirely remember what it feels like, but I don't remember it being super smooth nor super rough. Infinity Mice Infinite Speed is Infinite Speed V2 is probably one of the best. If you're looking for the fastest pad, it's probably the fastest one on here. The Ruin, it's interesting. The Ruin is more textured and it's significantly slower. The Ruin is probably one of the slowest ones on here. The GameSense LiDAR and the Ruin are probably the two slowest. The LiDAR, it's interesting where it's like a softer weave. Like the weave is softer, but the base is firm. And it's like a rubberized base. So this is a really, really cheap. I want to say GameSense. I bought mine for like 20 bucks on GameSense's website. Radar. Yeah, there you guys go. GameSense LiDAR. It's 500 by 500. It's like, it's not, we're getting spoiled, guys. Like $40 pads are really nice quality. The LiDAR, the surface is very good quality. It has a really nice minimalist logo. The rubber base, though, it's just like a basic neoprene QCK ass rubber base, glorious XXL base. It's firm, though. It's a pretty thin pad. I want to say it's only 3 millimeters, and it's pretty firm. I would call it a firm. I use this at work because it is a pad that, if I like that it's a little bit more controlled because I do a lot of static clicking at work. But it still is easy to wash because it's spandex. Yeah, GameSense LiDAR though, 19 bucks. That's a really good price. I think their shipping is like $7. So $26, $27 for this after taxes. Pretty good deal. I like the LiDAR. I think it's slept on. Again, you have to remember it is not artisan level quality. The stitching is, they cherry picked this picture of the stitching here. It's not subsurface. It's a very squared off edge feeling too, but it's unique in that all of these are on the speed side, with the exception of the Ruin, and the LiDAR are about as close as you can get to a balanced spandex pad. I would say depending on skates, the LiDAR might actually be slower than a Heian. The Breeze is also incredibly skate dependent too, because it's so incredibly smooth. It makes it feel like, yeah, it just really, really varies a lot. I have not tried a Kurosun Ninja. I want one because it's available in like a 530 by 490 size or 560 by 480, something like that. Big size. I do want one, but they're hard to find, and when they are, they're like $60. I don't know the difference between the Ghost Glides Masterpiece and Courage. Masterpiece is the not another anime pad one. Yeah, you meant polyester. Yeah, so while they're all blends, including polyester, spandex is what gives it a distinct feel akin to leggings or other athletic apparel. The most common spandex fiber contains a minimum of 85% polyurethane and 15% other substances such as nylon or polyester. Yeah, nylon is I guess the best way to describe these is they feel like nylon. They feel kind of plasticky in a way. They won't feel plush like a cotton pad, or a lot of polyester pads will feel more plush. Matrova Breeze. Yeah, the Breeze is, I've kind of shied away from the Breeze. It's a nice pad, and like Matrova is an absolute banger when it comes to value. But you do still have to remember that they're not like that high tier of quality. They have nice small stitching. They have a good base selection. It's kind of like Matrova is like a good buffet. Like, oh, it's not .gg. Matrova gaming gear. Sure, let's try searching that. Matrova.com. Yeah, Matrova is like a really good, I would describe them like a really good, they're the best buffet you have in town. Like, you're gonna get to go there, you get to pick exactly what you want, it's gonna be configured the exact way you want it, you're gonna pay a reasonable price, you're gonna get an excellent bang for your buck. But you're definitely gonna be smashed by, you know, a quality restaurant. You know, it's gonna be a buffet with a 4-star out of 5 Google review. I really like my customer service experience. They were great to have on the podcast. Yeah, but I'm also not going to go around shilling them being like they're the greatest thing that's going to instantly make your aim better. I don't know, guys. Like, mouse pads, they do have a bigger, they probably have a bigger impact on your aim than your mouse, honestly, as long as you don't have an absolute dog crap tier mouse. Your mouse pad probably matters more in terms of pure aiming potential. But like at the end of the day, guys, it's just a friggin' piece of cloth on your mouse pad, on your desk. Like, it's all of us can achieve 95% of our potential with a QCK heavy and a GPX super light. If you're out here still looking for an end game, I hope you're early in your search, or I hope that you just come around to understanding that it's not about end game, it's about trialing things out. Hopefully not consumerism. Ninja 2.0 is supposed to come out Q1 2026. Awesome. Mousepad rabbit hole is insane, not gonna lie. Yup, absolutely. Absolutely is. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I need to call it there. Mousecast is going to be live tomorrow at 10:45 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to drop in and say hi. We're going to have a special guest, Joel from Tevolution. If you guys have any questions you want me to ask Joel, please message him in the Discord. I have also a Twitter post. I also have a Discord post. I said that twice. And I have a YouTube post. Leave the questions there. Don't put them in this chat. Mousecast W, yeah. Joel sounds like he's excited for this. I don't know how his English is. His typing seems good. That's one risk that I run with these guests is I often don't talk to them until literally moments before we go live. We go live at 10:45. They get on at 10:30. It's nice with the reviewers because you have their channels to look at. But yeah, Joel, I hope he does great. I think he will. He seems to be a true enthusiast. He truly loves what he does. He was sending me DMs about his time at the Japan trade show where Lamzu showed off. Remember their fingertip mouse and their other mice with like the braille text along the hump? He was at that trade show. But yes, if you guys have questions for him, please. Where is he from? I don't know. Tevolution is Indonesian? I'm sorry. Fantech is Indonesian. Tevolution's one of their sub-brands. And I think he said he works remotely from Malaysia, Vietnam, something like that. Asia Pacific region though. And yes, he's an uber nerd for it. Yeah, he's a nerd for this stuff. 10:45 p.m. Eastern. Okay. See you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to Mayang Rages for Story. Yep, they are indeed a Fantech sub-brand. I plan on asking him more about that. Asking about FE Opticals. Thank you, Schwamper. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Soul Out. Yeah, you guys are awesome. You guys are cool people. Okay. Bye, everyone. Have a good night. See you tomorrow on the cast.